What the fuck was that?
Hey guys, we got a bit of a special episode for you. I'm here with Sir
It's called a
Cereal again.
tier list for all you idiots that don't know it. I'm sorry, but I have to.
Damn, hard truth.
Yeah, but it's for one of our favorite with air quotes, Conqueror's Blade, because it's also the bane of our existence,
Yes, yes, it
and
is.
we're going to be ranking every single unit
Unit.
in the game. Grays, golds, all of it. So, let's get started
Oh god, let's
with
get in.
the gray archers.
I've used peasant archers. The only ones I say should have a higher tier than regular gray: serfs, the Matadori.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. There are
The
only a couple of grays that can actually do anything. Um,
um
these
spear.
two are not one of them.
Oh yeah.
So, serfs, um, for a gray unit, I'd say they're actually pretty decent because they have 40 in there. They can be a really good meat shield.
And well, we got to add to the fact they did just get mastery.
They did get mastery. That is true.
They have a healing
Um,
mastery, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't say they're that overpowered.
for a gray unit, I would say it's B.
Yeah, they're not that great, but they're up there. Mouth.
Martellatori, most useful gray unit out there.
Oh yeah, because they're good for moving siege
They're gonna be
weapons.
the best one. Yeah.
They're
S
definitely the
tier
only
gray
gray
unit.
unit that's allowed up there.
Yeah. Um,
Watchmen. Eh.
a D tier. I've seen them get used, but just because they have pikes, they have more use than these archers.
Yeah.
Sword militia, I think they're like 100 leadership, which is terrible for a
Yeah.
gray unit.
Yeah.
By the way, we're ranking these based off how much value you can get out of their leadership.
Hmm.
So, this is like 110 leadership.
For
It's
a
you
gray
can't do
unit.
anything. Yeah, you can't do anything with it. Um, Demen's pikemen, same boat as the village watchmen,
Mm.
just grays with pikes.
Farmers.
I've never seen them be useful. Is there 40 of them or 32? I can't remember.
No, they're just. I've seen people
I'm
use them,
just
but
just gonna every gray unit is
uh, yeah, those mostly.
woodcutters. They actually I would put them on the same level as the serfs. They have less head count, but they have a surprising amount of armor penetration.
Um, I think they might be. I don't think they're up there. So I think they may be C. I don't think they're that up there with them though. You think?
I would say that they are because they have the charge, they have the sprint, and they also are a bit tankier than the serfs and have more armor pen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you there. It's between kind of B and C right now for me. For the woodcutters.
But then again, having more is kind of being a meat shield is really the most important thing, so having more is better.
Hmm. So we
So I would
have,
put woodcutters in C. I
yeah,
agree.
and then we have spear militia. I will note they
Hello,
did just get.
dragon. You there?
What happened?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Where did you go, buddy?
Can you not? You recording too?
Yeah, I've been recording.
All right, I'm good. Let's go.
Okay. Well, what I was trying to say before you disappeared was that having more is actually better. Just
Yeah.
because 8 more is a bit more valuable.
Hmm. Spear militia. I will note they did get a mastery,
They did just get a mastery.
and most units who
Um,
get mastery really
yeah.
boost their the just score general.
Having a tower shield, that just automatically makes them 10 times better than the rest of these.
Yeah,
They can really just act as a shield for any ranged unit, so I'd put them up there for usefulness.
definitely.
Okay, on to the greens.
Oh god,
Couteliers.
spiking the score because those things are overpowered right now.
Yeah, they're really good during blue lock, and they're pretty decent during purple and gold lock. I'd
Ironcraft swordsman,
say,
the its counterpart is the better one, but they're still really good.
yeah, I'd put them in B tier.
Yeah.
Because they do fall off when it's purple and gold.
Yeah.
Green crossbows.
This is gonna be
Now,
your business. I have not had a chance to use them.
the only time you use the green crossbows is when you're using Chevaliers. Because the Chevaliers, you can bring the green crossbows as their retinue, and they can be useful there. But other than that, they're god awful.
Mm.
So since they're only useful in that one situation, I'm going to say that they're C tier. Actually, no, D tier.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna have to question you on that, boss man.
Yeah, D tier definitely.
Ooh, this one's you.
Um,
This one's for
Black
you.
Dragon Archers. So they cost 60 leadership.
And
They're a
don't
green
forget to
unit.
add that they're a mercenary.
They
unit.
have poison arrows and they're mercenaries, so you don't have to redo their unit kit or anything. For 60 leadership, they're pretty decent. They're more of a support role. They won't get a lot of kills, but the poison will stack up.
Oh yeah, anything with poison will just screw over.
I
enemy.
don't think I can put them in the same rank as Cudeliers.
No,
I think
they're not that.
a lot worse.
Well, they did add this point that you have to spend a crap ton of silver to unlock them.
Yeah, they're like 300,000 silver to unlock, or like
Yeah.
1,200 sovereigns.
It's a crap ton. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Unless you really need them. The dense archers.
Regular green archers, they're bad.
Yeah.
Same boat as green crossbows, but worse. Iron cap swordsmen, absolutely fucking busted. They are busted.
Let me rephrase this. In general melee combat, they'll get gunned down, but when they actually throw their abilities at someone, they'll shred an attack.
Now, her strength lies in their charge. When they're fully mastered, you get their charge cooldown down to 5 seconds. It can just keep charging and charging and charging. It will kill. I've used them to kill Iron Reapers. I've used them to kill Wu Weis. I've used them to kill half a Man-at-Arms unit.
But we also got
to over and over.
We also got to clarify the problem is when they're out of an ability, they're screwed.
Yeah, but that is again where their strength lies because their charge cooldown is 5 seconds. Bajan, a friend of ours, was able to get it down to 3 seconds instead of just the 5. It's insane. And
yeah, I'll give him that.
Charges in the game.
Just because you can modify to get the charge problem dealt with.
Yeah. Javelin militia, they are actually pretty strong.
Really? I don't think
they're not amazing. Like other Iron Cap swords, but they're a really good green unit or green javelin. Their charge dazes heroes. Their javelins are just a little bit less damage than the imp javs. So, for a green unit, I would put them in A tier.
Oh, by the way, this is the opinion of both of us. So we're using both of our times using these characters or what we've seen with them. This is just our opinion of them.
Yeah. Whenever I see Javelin Militia and I see them charging at me, I'm normally screwed. Because I'm like, oh crap, my unit's about to get dazed. I'm going to get hit with a bunch of javelins, maybe die.
Yes.
And they're actually quite a threat.
Alright, what's next on the list?
The men's javelins.
That's on your... that's
awful.
Is they?
Yes. They're 10 times worse javelin sergeants. Now, that makes sense because they're green, but even then, they don't do a lot of damage, and their mastery is to get ammo when they get kills, and that's not going to happen. You can't get kills with these guys. It's so hard.
I can speak for Iron Cap Arbalest. They're good in
Iron Cap muskets, yeah.
They could do damage. The problem is they have that debuff that guns have on accuracy. So you damn near need to be in front of an enemy to get them to do kills, which is not a good idea.
You have to use them as basically shotgun muskets, which they can, if you're able to get to that range, then sure, they're decent.
Yeah, they'll do something if
they're awful.
You really don't want to be that close to heroes.
Yeah, you don't want to be that close to any unit with a ranged unit.
I also can speak for Iron Cap Bowmen. They're not god tier, but they're a decent enough unit. Yeah, they're a decent enough unit to... If you have them running around an open map, they can actually decimate quite a bit of units before getting taken down.
So you agree with B tier then?
Yeah.
They're not great, but would you put them above Cavaliers?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Because the fact that you can run away while shooting at the enemy, and there's also a doctrine that gives them a chance to shoot flaming arrows.
Well, yeah, and also, didn't they just get a unit mastery?
Yes, they've had this mastery for about a couple months now, and it's really annoying. Dement Spearmen, quite decent, actually.
Automatically A. They're another just brutal tank unit.
Yeah, I'd put them at the bottom of A, though, just because they get hurt super quickly. When they take their spears out, they're super vulnerable.
Oh, definitely. They're more better to stay in a shield.
And especially with the Wu Wei meta right now, they get run through instantly.
Oh god, we're on this thing. This monster. Yep. Yep.
They are so broken.
It's their charge. It's the charge is the overpoweredness about them.
So, the one charge, the straight charge, and then you have their mastery, which makes them just charge every which way, causing chaos everywhere. And it will kill heroes so quickly, you won't even know they were there before you die. Which is a lot like the Keshigs. They're just better, less leadership Keshigs.
Yep.
Because the Keshig strength was their hero killing. And these guys' strength is also their insane hero killing.
Yeah. They are
120 leadership, it's so cheap and good.
They are one of the cav units that can get stopped by pike army though.
Yes.
They are at least one of the cav units that can be stopped by them.
Yeah, they will get stopped by brace though.
But their charge is overpowered.
Okay. Yeah. Iron Cap archers.
I do not know them.
Green archer.
Yeah, I do not know them.
It's again just bad.
Pike
militia.
Don't know them either.
They have some cav stopping capabilities with their mastery, but they're really not that great.
Okay.
In my opinion, from what I've seen and the few times I've used them, I'd say C tier.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with it. Rattans. These boys are automatic. Let me go through those things because I use them all the time. They can stack poison, and one of their best abilities to give with them is a charge ability doctrine. Because if there's so many of them, if you give them a charge, they can. I've wiped out a legendary cav charge because there's so many of them poisoning.
Now, what the poison does is it reduces damage, makes the unit super slow. So if you have a ranged unit in the back and the unit that's engaged with the Rattan Pikes are trying to run away, they can't. They physically can't.
Well, you also got to remember, they have a ton of people. Rattans have an extreme 32? Amount. I think so.
I feel like it's 32.
It's just bodies. So it's a really good unit if you're at that last shit effort at final point. You got to fight for everything you got. They're a really good unit to throw in there. Because there's so many of them.
Just the amount of poison they can stack up, the amount of people they have, it just keeps on stacking while they poke you with their long poles.
hey.
Rattan round shields.
I have not had a good experience. I don't.
They're just Rattan pikemen, but worse. Sometimes their poison doesn't.
Yeah, work. I don't think they're really high up. They're not.
In theory, they should be on the same level, but in execution, it does not seem like they are.
Yeah, they're not the greatest.
C-Snag Death Dealers.
They're another unit that has that stupid accuracy problem.
I don't know why they're green. They're a blue unit. But it's another mercenary that costs like 700,000. It's 80 leadership, I think.
Don't they have the accuracy debuff as well?
Yeah.
So it's another unit you can't really use well unless you have.
I'd say they're more valuable than Iron Cap muskets just because they cost less.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cost like 110, don't they? 110, 100, I can't remember.
I believe so.
Actually, I'll look it up right now.
They still have that same problem, though. It's just the accuracy problem with those guns. It really screws you because you'll just run out of ammo.
120 for the Iron Cap muskets. So yeah, the Sea Stags are definitely better than that.
But in combat-wise, they're still the same problem.
Yeah, they still have to be shotgun range, blam you in the face, and you don't want that with a ranged unit.
Prefecture
pikemen. I love these guys. They are amazing. Well,
yeah. You probably have more
amazing.
experience with them. You probably have more experience with them than me.
Yeah. Their charge is good. Don't get me wrong, but they're so squishy. And don't have any type of anti-cav capability.
Yeah.
Their mastery does give them a speed up ability when they're charging, so if you need to get to a range quickly, sometimes that can work. For me, I would put that C tier. Just because there's so much better out there, and it's really not worth it. Black Dragon Pikes.
I do not know him.
Worst prefecture pikemen.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone use them. I don't think I've had anyone.
I've used them a couple of times. They're just worst prefecture pikes. Right. Okay, Iron Cap Spearmen.
No, are they that? Yeah, I've seen them gone bad.
Like they're a terrible knockoff version of the Imperial Spear Guard.
Yeah.
Like you may think that they may be decent because they're a blue Imperial Spear Guard.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not. Black Dragon Spearmen, just Iron Cap Spearmen.
Yeah, that's another unit I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really use mercenary units, so it's gonna be off of Cyril's opinion for them. I don't really use them.
Yeah, Black Dragon Spearmen are just Iron Cap Spearmen, less leadership.
Ah. Oh, I know this. I know them. They have an accuracy problem. Again.
Another one down there.
Because they have horrible accuracy.
Yep. Okay. Blue crossbows.
Blue crossbows.
They're only good during blue lock. And even then, they're only decent.
I'm going to go with E. They're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. They'll manage in blue luck, but they're not good. I'm gonna go with E.
Rearrange this. Yeah. I would take those green javelins over the blue crossbows, to be honest.
Yeah. Halberdiers.
Halberdiers. Oh
not god tier, but they're decent.
They're amazing. You don't need any skill to use these things. You just plop them down. They brace. You get their leadership back and more immediately.
Yeah, I can agree with that, definitely.
Their mastery gives them health back every 5 strikes, increases their damage on their brace strikes. It's so good.
It's that Pogger energy.
Yeah. Mace Sergeants.
Not god tier, but they're smack in the middle. They can hold off most things. They're definitely a good unit.
A consistent, a chunky, a hard-hitting blue unit. And they will get their leadership's worth.
I will say, okay, let me say this. They're a shield breaker. Anything that's a shield breaker is a decent unit.
It will destroy 90% of large shields in this game. Spear Sergeants, gone. Spear Guard, meh, a bit of a fight.
Don't forget to mention, if they charge a men-at-arms unit, they can kill them.
I've seen them trade with them. I haven't seen them outright kill them.
Well, in my experience, I've killed 3 men-at-arms units with Mace Sergeants. It's their 2 ability.
I've seen a fully mastered Mace Sergeant beat an unmastered men-at-arms, but I haven't seen both fully mastered and them not trade or the Mace Sergeants lose. Okay. Naginata Mugs.
They're just hero killers, aren't they?
Yeah. The only times I've used them were in Ice Cold Coliseum.
Yeah. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're that great of a...
They're good.
C. Yeah, I don't think they're B.
Either bottom of C or top of
C. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're that... Because they're literally... I don't think they won't last like anything against other units, really. They're up there because they're hero killers. That's the only reason I say they deserve to be up there. They're hero killers.
Yeah. But they do also only cost 125 leadership, which does give them more value.
Yeah. Rattans. I hate those things.
They are repeating crossbows that have poison.
That stacks.
That stacks up to 10 times if you have the right doctrines.
Yeah, they're a scary bunch.
It's insane. They will kill heroes instantly. They will kill any unit instantly. They will kill cav charging at them. Like, they will just stand there, look at the cav, say, what cav? They're all dead.
What helps them, when I say that helps them, is because a lot of their mastery, it gives them ability to slow down, extremely slow down people. And so if you get caught in the open with them, they screw you.
So you're slowed down, you can barely move, and they're still all shooting at you with full auto crossbows. And if you get a double shot doctrine on them, which doubles the amount of bolts they shoot per round,
yeah,
they're so broken. Archers, you're gonna have to take this one.
I'm gonna go with D. They're not good, but they're one of the units that can hold their own in blue lock.
Gotcha.
With the right doctrines and stuff, they can.
Told me, it seems like a mix of Namcans and Incendiary Archers, but not in a good way.
Incendiary Archers top both, but yeah. I do not know Prefectus Guard. I don't know them.
Oh my gosh, Prefecture Guard?
I don't know them.
Amazing during blue lock. After blue lock, they fall off so hard. Like blue lock S+. After blue lock, bottom of B, top of C.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you this one because I've never really seen people use them well.
I think because they're just that overpowered during blue lock, they go in B tier. Now, what they do is you activate their 2 ability with their mastery. They're constantly charging. They're just constantly charging at everything. It's a blue version of Men-at-Arms. And then I've been told that when you put them on cover commander with their middle veterancy line, it extends the period of time that Prefecture Drill, which is their 2 ability, is active. So they're charging even longer and faster and harder. And they just keep killing and killing and killing. And it's just insane during blue lock. But after that, because everything else actually has health, the purple and gold units beyond, they do practically nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Rattan Vipers, oh my gosh.
They're not as good as Rattan Marksmen.
I want to love them, but they suck so much.
Yeah, I don't think they're good at all, really. I haven't even seen people use them.
Some value. I've used them quite a bit. They're the
only reason they're up there
Rattan Marksmen
is because they have poison. Only reason they're up there.
The only reason why. Their poison stack, and they have an obscene amount. I think it's like 36 troops in there.
Yeah.
And you get that much bow fire down. But they're not as efficient as Rattan Marksmen. It takes them so much longer to do even a fraction of what the Rattan Marksmen do.
Mm-hmm.
Squires.
You're gonna be on this one. Yeah, I don't know them. Oh god, that was quick.
They're that bad, man. They're that bad.
Why are they so bad?
Their mastery, on paper, they sound amazing, right?
On paper.
It's like the Dallas Cowboys. On paper, they're amazing. In execution, they die. They charge. You have another charge, and then you do that charge. And then that charge refreshes based on kills. Your first charge. And so you should, emphasis on should, be able to keep on cycling that charge over and over again. No. That doesn't happen. I've never seen it work. I've never seen anybody do good with Squires. I've never done good with Squires. It's horrible. A horrible unit.
Here's another unit javelins. I don't know. This is for you. I don't know them.
80 leadership javelins. That's all it is.
Okay. Well, yeah. What's their benefits?
Actually, I'm gonna put them in F because you can't tell them where to throw. All they have is the throw javelin ability, and it throws at the nearest unit.
Oh, especially right now, that's crap. Ugh.
Yes, it's
all right.
F tier.
Next unit, F tier. Immediately F tier. F tier, bottom of the tier. Bottom of the tier. Bottom of F tier. Get that trash out of here.
It is awful.
So for an archer player, they have an ability where they do a move and fire. In this game, you do not.
They move to? You know where they move to? They move towards the enemy.
You don't
towards them.
And in this game, you don't want to use archers like a like a militia type, they stay. You have archers stay where they are. You don't move them towards an enemy.
In the back. You keep them in the back. You don't move them forward. You keep them as far away back as possible, within range. You don't want them moving forward. And these guys' whole thing is that you move forward and shoot.
Yeah, that's not trash. Incineroar archers, middle tier.
In actual, I'm gonna put them. I'd say they're A tier.
They're not.
They
need ability.
Amazing with them. I've done amazing with them during purple and gold lock.
Yeah.
When you have an arrow rain and the fire arrows ready, you do that, it kills everything. It doesn't matter if it's purple, gold, gray, green.
Yeah, I'll go with this. It's A or B for me. I'll go with that. Yeah, it's A or B for me with Incineroar archers.
They're definitely the best blue archer.
I do not know Napkin archers.
Namkins, they have a long range. They have bleed shot.
I've
never seen anybody do amazing with them.
Yeah, I don't think I've even seen people use them.
I'm gonna put them in the same boat as Rattan Vipers.
Okay.
I'm gonna put them further up because they are better than Rattan Vipers in the sense that they have a vassal longbow type range.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you know what? That definitely gives them a bonus just because of the range.
Yeah, they have a very long range. Solemn Kids.
That's another one on you.
I love them so much, but they're so bad.
You love them, but you hate them.
I'm just putting it here for reference. The Iron Cap Scouts are just so much better than them. The Solemn Kids, Hero Killer Charge. Iron Cap Scouts, they have 2 Hero Killer Charges.
Yeah.
Solemn Kids, they are actually squishier. They're squishier than the Iron Cap Scouts.
I don't even see that. I've seen people use them. That's I feel like they're that bad. Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen anyone use them.
I use them from time to time, but in blue lock. But now that it's purple lock, it's just even worse.
Yeah.
Condottieri.
They're not a god tier unit, but
they're
blue
a solid
lock.
all arounder.
Yeah, they can hold their own.
Yeah.
They're a type of unit that can hold its own. They're not a god tier unit, but they can hold their own.
Yeah.
If you have extra leadership, they're a unit I would suggest getting.
Yeah. And the only drawback is because Mace Sergeants exist.
Yes.
If Mace Sergeants didn't exist, the Condottieri would definitely be rated higher. But because Mace Sergeants cost cheaper and are normally better in general, doing everything the Condottieri do, because they have a similar gimmick, Shield Breakers, destroy the line, but Condottieri just do it worse.
Well, for Shield Breakers, you really want to use blunt damage for Shield Breakers.
Yeah. And their 2 just doesn't do enough. It just doesn't do enough.
Janissaries. Automatically one of the higher tier units.
Yeah.
Not a god tier unit, but automatically up there. Just because how much fire they can put down.
They're definitely one of the better ranged units in the game.
Oh, definitely. And especially
if you have the right doctrines on them, great accuracy.
Oh, definitely.
And you use them more than I do. So
if you give them the right accuracy and fire rate doctrines, they can lay down a heavy amount of fire.
They're valuable throughout all blue, gold.
Oh yeah.
Locks. They're that good.
They're one of those units that if you have the leadership, take them.
Yeah.
The only before we go, the only debuff I say is they can't shoot downwards. Like anything higher above them or really below them, they'll just freak out.
You have to be on like a flat plane.
They'll freak the hell out.
Yeah, they'll have a seizure and die. Because what is this? He go up?
He go up? Oh.
Okay, Zycalians. Oh my gosh.
Not a god tier unit, but it's high up there.
I would put them in bottom of S tier.
Yeah, they're a high tier unit, but not die. It's flame. That's the only reason. It's just flame.
During blue lock, they are the best unit you can bring. They are the just.
Let me say this. Let me rephrase this. Only reason they're that high up there is because of fire. Just fire.
Yeah. Fire is super useful, and this thing has constant fire. Just constant fire.
Just fire is the only reason it's even going to be allowed.
Still amazing. And now with the new pike unit, it just hard counters it because it's so tightly packed. This unit just hard counters it.
Well, and let me rephrase this, guys. The reason why we say fire's so overpowered because fire will stun lock heroes. It will just start burning units. Like, it's overpowered. That's the only reason it's going to be up there that high.
175 leadership for amazing crowd control.
Yeah. This is you. This is
my favorite fucking unit in the game. The sad thing is they're really not that good.
I say this is all you, buddy. You use these all.
They
constant.
have one of the best. They have one of the best, if not the best, infantry charge in the game. The only problem is their setup. Their setup takes time, and that time allows the enemy to get
right in their face,
closer to you. Yeah,
whispering in your ear.
You have to wait for your team to either push forward or just keep them sat there waiting to be trebbed.
Yep.
And they have a lot better.
I think their benefits their charge, isn't it?
The charge, yes.
I think their main benefits just their charge.
They have a 3 ability which can be used in case of emergencies, which is just a powerful. Well, the description is a powerful overhead strike. So based on that alone, is what puts them a lot better than prefecture pikes.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the reason why their charge is so good, everything will die from the charge. It doesn't matter who or what you are, you will die. You will die from that charge.
So it's basically one of those units that if it charges something, it's gonna kill it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's just the preparation time. Those few seconds are crucial. So that's the only reason why they're in B tier. Otherwise,
Sons of Fenrir, not a god unit?
They're so fun to use though.
They're so okay. I'll take D&E. They're not. They'll get killed really fast. They're not a good unit.
D&E, really?
They're not really good. Actually,
they will.
D or C. D or C, because they can get easily countered, but they're really good to jump over shield.
I was gonna say bottom of B, top of C, because I've used them during purple lock, and they will destroy anything they get a flank on. I've seen them take out a men-at-arms unit. I've seen them kill Wu-Wei's. You've
seen them kill Wu-Wei's? The hell was that person on?
I did that, Dragon. I did that. I killed Wu-Wei's.
Was that person not using their abilities? Like, hello?
Well, again, like I said before, it was the flank. You have to flank. If you charge head-on with the Fenrir, you're gonna die. You're gonna die instantly.
Oh, yeah. I'll keep...
off, you should be able to do so much damage.
Yeah, I'll agree with being at the bottom of B. Just for the flanking capability.
I physically can't say that they're worse than Salemkid's Prefecture Pikes and Naginata Monks. I physically can't, and I will literally take a shotgun to my head before I do that.
Hey, no, don't say that. He's just kidding. Kojo Monks. Kojo Monks.
F tier. They are so bad. I don't know what their purpose even is. They have no situations that are good. That's what this entire tier is. You have no situation in which you are good. Blue lock or otherwise. It's just terrible. No damage output. No block break. Nothing.
Yep. When we mean just... that's just one of the meaning for a unit that's just complete dog trash.
Yeah. You never want to take these. Even if you want to take them, I will physically make you not.
Outriders. This is me.
Oh, they are so fun.
They're not a god unit, but they can hold their own.
Riders.
Yeah, they're annoying. They can hold their own. The biggest benefit is they get their ammo back, and they do explosive type damage.
Yeah, but you really have to be careful when you use that charge, because if you use it at the wrong time, the entire
you'll lose all
dies instantly. Yeah.
My thing, but these things excel at is territory wars, field territory wars. These things will.
I think they are better than bow riders because they have the explosive throw.
The explosive throw, and they can get their ammo back.
Yeah.
They're the benefit of them.
For those of y'all that don't know, they have a special javelin which you can throw every now and then that does an explosion, And then their little charge javelin also does a smaller explosion, as well as getting your ammo back.
Yeah,
somehow.
Their two is they'll
pulling it out of your ass.
Their two is they have two types of throws. One where you tell them of the throw. Their two is they'll just throw at the closest enemy and charge them.
Yeah. Bagpipes.
They're good because they're a support unit.
S plus.
No. Hell no.
Just because they're 60 leadership and a support, it can sometimes be more useful than.
It's nice. The only reason I say it's because it's nice because it does supporting.
Yeah, you can increase attack and defense damage. They're also kind of just a meme unit. Get some tunes on the battlefield.
Yeah.
One that is not a meme unit though is alchemists.
They excel because their leadership is so cheap.
They used to be what?
They decreased it. It used to be super high. They decreased the crap out of it.
Down to like either 90 or 60 now.
Yeah.
I feel like 60.
It's 80 or 90, I think.
So what the alchemists do is they heal your units, heal ally units.
Smoke as well.
They have a smoke bomb, which can decrease the accuracy of enemy ranged. And they have a dagger, I think, which really isn't.
But yeah, if I see someone charging in a melee comp with alchemist, I'm gonna kill you.
But when you get the certain doctrine on them and certain veterancy line, they have an aura of healing. They use their magical French woman powers to heal everybody in an area. Instead of having to go up and heal each unit individually.
I can clarify this. 1 is their smoke. 2 is where they'll have to go around and physically heal the soldiers. And 3 is when they get the doctrine for it. 3 is their aura healing.
Yeah.
Not god tier, but fun. They're up there. They're definitely an up there unit. Just because
Lock, they're so good.
I will say this.
And then after that, they do fall off a little bit, but they're still pretty decent. So I'd put them in 18.
I will say this is because they another bleeding type unit. They stack an insane amount of bleeding, and they can hold their own in melee combat if they need to.
Yeah, they're super fast. They throw really fast, and they can, run away really fast.
We have proof of this, because considering that the 3 of us and our friend Benji. The 2 of us and our friend Benji carried an entire game mostly with just using 3 squads of John Jews.
Yeah.
They can be scary.
You get that many knives throwing at the enemy, there's nothing they can do about it. And then when they try to attack you, you run away.
Yeah, and if they ever get close, you can just spam knife throws at them in constant bleed effect.
And you pop a sprint doctrine on these puppies. Oh my gosh, they're faster than some cav.
Yeah. I do not know them. I've seen people use them, but I don't think I've ever seen them actually even do an effort.
They're fun to use. I will say that. Seeing them do their parkour is silly. But the only time I've used them is they're basically a 10 times worse Wolf of Fenrir.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a parkour jump and then flip back, but they're just not as fast. They don't do as much damage. They're just worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, D tier.
And like I said, why I like this video, guys, is because we're using both of our experience with these units and what we've seen. Yeah. So we're just combining them together. That's.
Yep. Whooshing pikemen.
They're good units.
You and I, even if it's just you by yourself, they can have such an impact.
Their biggest
Fire and other war crimes.
The debuff this is the main problem they have that lowers their score extremely. They're slow as hog's ass.
Oh my gosh, they're so slow.
You need a sprint doctrine, or they will not be able to catch units.
Yeah.
But if you work with a team death ball, these things are just...
They will take all the kills. It's theirs now.
The crazy thing about them is they have an explosive jab, and then they have a flame jab.
Well, it's not explosive jab, it's a war crime shrapnel jab.
Yeah, we'll clarify that.
I love to call these things the war crime pikes, because that's what they are. It's a flamethrower and a shotgun that shoots shrapnel on a stick.
I will say from my experience, they excel when you're in like a death ball with a group of teammates. They're really good to fill in the flanks with a death ball team.
During Blue Lock, they are S+.
But yeah, they fall down once.
They fall off quite a bit when it's purple and gold.
And like I said, they're a good unit. The only problem they have is they're just so slow.
Yeah. I also have a charge doctrine on them, which actually helps a lot when you have to
get close to an enemy
quicker. Yeah. Extra damage. Ronin.
Okay. E actually, they can hold their own in Blue Lock. Besides that, they're shit. They only can handle decently.
Well, if we're putting Ronin in Blue Lock, then we're putting Cudgel Monks in. I mean, wait, Blue Lock. I mean E.
I was about to say, what do you want?
Monks in E. Because they're both equally awful.
Yeah, and my experience with a couple of my other friends, Ronin can kind of do something in Blue Lock. Besides that, they're shit. They don't do anything during Purple Lock and after that.
How about this? We'll put them at the top.
Yeah, we'll put them at the top. There we go.
Top of uselessness.
Yeah, they if you desperately need them.
For some reason.
Healing archers. Not a god tier unit, but they're a supporting unit. They're a decent, not bad of a supporting unit.
I'd put them at C.
Yeah, they're good because
I would rank them higher if Alchemists did not just start stealing the show after getting their leadership lowered.
Yeah. They're a unique unit. If you're having problems with somebody attacking your healers, they're not a bad unit to have because they can just throw out heals.
Yeah. So these guys shoot heal arrows, which also do damage to the enemy, which is huge.
Yeah. Because
you can't actually shoot them without worrying about healing the enemy. I used to run these guys a crap ton.
The only debuff they have is they have a little bit higher leadership, and also they have to use ammo to heal.
And the ammo usage is crazy.
That's the only biggest problem they have is that they use a shite ton of ammo to heal.
And it feels like the only time I'm ever able to get kills is when I use arrow rain on them.
Oh yeah, they won't usually do any good kills.
They can't do any damage outside of that.
Yeah.
Paradox.
They're not trash unit?
I don't see them used a lot.
I got experience.
Decent.
They're not okay. They're not A. I'm telling you right now, they're not A, but they're
definitely not.
They're up there. They're not the high tier. They're up there though. I don't C or D or B.
I'd
sorry.
Say C.
They're not a god trash unit because they have 3 layers. So they have what their thing is. They have 3 layers of charging. They have the initial charge, and then they have a healing charge.
Yeah, and then the third one
that can just go all around directions.
They have the potential to do amazing. It's just the fact that it's so hard to use inside of a siege battle that it's not worth bringing.
The problem is, if you screw up and don't click the other charges in time, you mess up the whole combo.
Yeah, they're just standing there waiting to die. But other than that, when you're outside fighting rebels for some kind of challenge, they're
or you're doing a field battle, like where you can actually move them around, they'll do good.
If you willingly do a field battle.
Or like in TW, if you're siege or fielding someone like somewhere around there.
I keep pressing this gear button, and I don't mean to.
God damn it.
But yeah, considering 90% of the game is a siege battle, they're really not that good.
If you're desperate, they can hold their own, but
they're cool. It's a cool unit, but it's just
there's way better cap.
Yeah, you just bring Couteliers. Feathered crossbows. They got a buff. I will say this: they got a buff. I'm still putting them D tier though.
The problem they have, guys, is they're like the Janissaries. Not exactly like Janissaries, but they have the problem they can't aim higher, or they have a problem with aiming further.
They can't aim further than 3 feet.
So they're a shotgun archer unit. They're a shotgunner archer unit.
They're the same as these guys. They have no range. Actually, I'm going to put them here because they can do damage. I've seen them one-shot heroes and one-shot some purple units. They can do damage. But that trade-off is so horrible that it's not worth it. And they cost 160 leadership. Oh boy, the slingers. E tier.
Only reason they're up there is because they can pick up ammo.
I mean, pretty much. Like, they technically do more damage than these guys, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Their animations take so long, when you try to run away, you can't. Half your unit dies, and it's just not worth bringing. It does so little damage, so little crap. Block break that it's not worth it. Like, I would rather take these Black Dragon archers. And mind you, these are only 100 leadership. They're super cheap. I'd rather take almost any other unit in the game.
Yeah, it's just because they don't... It just don't do damage.
They're really that bad. Imperial muskets.
This one's you. I don't...
Yeah, they're interesting. I'd say their drawback is that they have to stay still for so long and keep firing in that restrictive line that detriments them. But in that line, they are amazing.
Yeah, don't they have a fire by line?
Yes, that's their ability. They go into like a special 3-rank formation, fire all at once with each volley, and it does a crap ton. They're a decent anti-cav, and they will wreck your unit if you walk in front of them.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
There are other muskets that are better.
Oh,
like
definitely.
Ones we'll get to shortly. Dagrax Lancers. I've never had good experience with them, but
they're not
tell me that they're good.
You get a charge on someone, you'll kill them. But if you don't have a charge, they're gonna die in seconds.
Oh crap! Where did they go? Oh,
Pets in S tier.
No, absolutely not.
They're not. They're not an A. I've never seen it.
Other cav competition that's here, they cannot go.
They're not an A.
In the bottom of B tier.
Yeah, they're not a. Yeah, B seems fine because they're not a bad unit. They just their charge takes forever to come back. It just.
And I understand that you have the cover commander charge, but that's so risky.
Definitely.
That even as a heavy armor, it's incredibly risky.
Oh, definitely.
It's so niche, but that niche, whenever it gets that possibility, it will do amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those units you just not great. Halberdier sergeants. This is my to say. They're not a.
In my opinion, they're a lot worse halberdiers.
They're not a good unit, but it's their charge. That's all I will say. It's just that it's that charge again. It's a charge type unit. I have decimated a death ball with a charge before.
Yeah, but like, I'm trying to compare them to the Landsheks and the halberdiers because both of them are just better in its separate aspects.
It's good. The problem is Brace is not the greatest, but when it's just its charge, I've seen some decimations of enemy forces with charging.
It's just the thing about charging; it's super dangerous.
Oh, definitely.
You're super vulnerable. So, taking 235 leadership
for that
is you're gonna send in with no shield or nothing. It's really not worth it. You should just take the Landsheks instead.
Yeah. Which
have an even more powerful charge.
Yeah, I can use
yeah. Imp jabs.
That one's you, because I use the other jabs.
Baby, they are weird. They're weird. Low ammo, high damage, insane high damage. Well, I'm just holding this here.
Oh, gotcha.
Because, but I am actually considering A tier because they will counter Wu-Wei's. Their shield will kill Wu-Wei's instantly.
I do remember they have an ability where it's not overpowered, but they basically do a shield bash where they just go when something gets close to them.
They Captain America the enemy in front of them. They just throw their shield at them.
I've seen it actually hero kill the shield bash.
It'll heal. It will. It's really high damage. Again, it's a really high damage unit, but it has so little javelins.
Yeah.
compared to these other units, I would put them at the top of A tier. They are actually that good.
Men-at-Arms, not God tier, but the rest.
Not anymore God tier. If this was 2 seasons ago, they would be right here. Nowadays, they're here.
What we explain with God tier is that they have extremely nothing that can counter them. The only reason we say Men-at-Arms are S tier is because any heavy armor could counter them. Iron Reapers decimate them.
Well, for overpowered tier, I'm basically comparing these to Wu Wei's, because that is the standard of overpowered in this game now.
Yeah.
And because those exist, that knocks Men-at-Arms down a tier.
They did a buff recently to Iron Reapers, and it just made Iron Reaper.
And the buff to Iron Reapers and the new companion cav, it just puts them down. It's just a scale of how overpowered. Mm-hmm. How overpowered can you be is the name of the game. Mm-hmm. And now that there's 10 times more overpowered units than these guys, they have to go down.
There's a thing called Iron Reapers that got buffed that have heavy armor and just go whack.
Mm-hmm.
S tier.
Yeah, S tier. Immediately. These guys are AK-47s of the musket world.
They so-called debuff them, got rid of their health, but that's not the problem with them. They have an immense amount of firing rate that makes them AKs, and they also have bayonets.
The health did impact them, which it did annoy me that they did that, but they still
didn't decrease the firing rates.
It still does a consistent amount of amazingness.
When also they have a unit mastery where they get ammo back from killing people.
They get ammo back from every kill, and with how fast you fire, you can refill your stuff immediately.
The only reason I would say they wouldn't go up to S+ is because there's another thing they have. They have an accuracy problem.
They have accuracy problem, ammunition.
But you can fix that with a doctrine. That's the only reason I say that you can fix that with a doctrine.
Their biggest weakness is heavy shields.
Yes.
Because it just pings off of that. You don't get any ammo back, and with how low their ammo is, that'll be gone instantly.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, S tier is where they belong.
They're up there.
Amazing.
As from someone who uses them all the time, they are scary. If you get hit in the back by a creep, you are going to lose all your units.
I used to main them all the time, every match. I waned off a little bit. I still use them a lot, and they're still amazing.
Definitely.
Javelin Sergeants. These guys are my favorite javelins to use, but in reality, they're not that good.
They're not a good javelin unit. There's better javelin units.
They don't do enough damage.
And they can get charged down.
But I have so much fun using them myself. Yeah. But
I agree with you. They're fun to mess around with.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Well, they're good because they're... Alright, let me put it this way. They're better than the units down here. They're definitely a lot better.
Definitely.
But, they're definitely worth more...
Yeah, let's just say they're definitely not one of the best javelin units out there.
They're harder to use. You can get your value out of them. I've gotten a 70 kill game with them, which was like my best game ever with them. But they take so much effort to use that it's really... You should just take imp jabs.
Yeah. That can also defend themselves if someone gets close to them.
Or Krieg's rats, like...
Well, the reason why I say the Imperial Javelins are better for that is because they can just defend themselves when someone gets close. They just shield bash them.
Yeah, that is a weakness of the Jav Sergeants. They don't have any melee capabilities.
So they're screwed if someone gets close to them.
Yeah.
What's next?
Imp Pikes.
Immediately high tier.
I'd say top of A tier.
Yeah.
They're
not a god tier unit. If you use them right, they can...
Because this can go through them instantly.
Most units can go...
Because this can go through them
and also,
instantly.
the problem they have is, the way they're not overpowered is because their main ability of their walk, takes a bit from cooldown.
Yes.
That's the only reason they are not super god tier.
You'll get maybe 2 walks out before the unit is completely dead.
Yeah.
And what their walk does is it knocks people down, allows them to be in a vulnerable state for your teammate to kill them. that walk will also stagger cav. But considering that this cav exists and is used,
don't forget about
heavily,
the YOLO cav.
Yeah, oh yeah, YOLO cav too. You see less of them now that this exists, but them too. They will go straight through that walk. Winged Hussars too. They will go straight through that. Where are they? Here they are.
They'll go right. I've seen it before. They are.
And they're super vulnerable to ranged.
Yeah. That's that. Okay. Before we go on, that's a thing. That's a problem with a lot of pikes. Their main weakness is range. That's why they're not overpowered. If you have a good amount of range, you'll decimate a pike unit.
And well, that is historically accurate.
Like you'll just disappear from range.
Yep. Imp archers.
Immediate high tier.
So far to say S tier.
Immediate high tier. Especially because of all their abilities. It's just.
I'd say that these are still better.
Better, but they're up there.
Their imp archers, their raw damage output is
here
crazy.
For someone from who uses them. Like, their armor piercing.
Use them almost every single game.
I love them. It's okay. Give them. So let's say this. Give them. They have one where they just shoot in a direction. You can give them an arrow rain doctrine, and they have an armor piercing volley. Well, they'll just auto lock to enemies and fire armor piercing shots. And also, they have another unit master. They have a unit mastery to add to the boot. That they have a hunter killer unit mastery where you can focus on hero and do multiple damage to
kill them instantly.
Yes.
They're just amazing, and their range is actually a lot more than I thought it was in the past. Like, I thought it was a really close range archer, but no, it's actually quite a long range.
The reason why I said they're super high tier, you can stop a hero from charging them. You click on that armor piercing shot, and the archers target one hero, you will obliterate them.
That hero is dead.
Goner. Goodbye.
Now, it is annoying now that there's a rune that stops a guy from dying instantly, but all you need to do is, since you're a longsword, you just knock them down.
Yeah, you just gotta delay them.
Any other knockdown ability in the game.
Just delay them for like 5 seconds until they get another volley off.
Yeah. Palace Guard.
Not a god tier unit, but they do have a good ability. Their ability is the only reason
I'd say B tier.
Yeah, they're not a great unit. Well, if you guys saw my last, I'm currently using them in my Road to Glory. They're a good unit if you use their ability right.
Yeah.
The only thing is their ability.
They get misused so often.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to flank them and just ignore it. You can just ignore it because they do a little crouch down and charge up their little strike like a Dragon Ball Z move. And you can just go around them.
The only reason I say they're good is if they're another team unit. You need someone to stay by their side to help them.
It's very team reliant.
Because you can easily wipe them out with any other type of unit.
When they do get their ability charged up, though, it can smack them.
Well, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember in my Road to Glory, I absolutely decimated a hero who thought it was a smart idea to jump into between a bunch of Palace Guard who just got their charge off.
Yeah. People do underestimate them sometimes, which does also help them.
Yeah.
We'll rearrange the order of these tiers once we're done putting everyone in them.
Spear Sergeants. They're not a good unit.
Ew. Just because stalwarts exist, they're 10 times worse.
Yeah, they're not a good unit.
They're a cover commander spear unit. And they have no anti-cav capability. They have low damage. They're only semi-tanky. And 90% of units will walk right through them with little to no difficulty.
Yeah, they're the weaker. Their shields are the weaker variants of the bigger shields.
Yeah,
I
would take the Dement Spearmen in a heartbeat over the Spear Sergeants.
Yeah, they can't take a beating as much as the.
Sure, cover commander can be useful, but there's no damage buff or anything that makes that cover commander actually good.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Longbows.
Vassal longbows.
One of the higher tier units.
Yeah, definitely A tier.
Just the biggest benefit about longbows, range. They can reach across an entire damn map if they wanted to.
and they do extra damage to ranged units, which is
Here's
really
the scary
annoying,
part. Give them arrow
especially.
rain. The
Oh my gosh,
scariest
arrow rain.
doctrine to add to them is arrow rain, just because of that bonus to their range.
It hurts so much, and I'm always scared to bring range out because I know that it's gonna be the one time that I bring my range down that
A longbow unit's just
gonna
gonna be chilling.
It's
The benefit
it's gonna be the one time I bring my range down, and then I'll go 5 matches without seeing a single one.
Yeah, the benefit to them is they can arc their shots. That's why they're so good. They could hit across an entire damn map if they wanted to.
Half the archers in this game, which forget that they have bows.
Yeah.
They're using them like it's a gun. They forget they can actually use them.
They don't have any special abilities. It's their only biggest ability or their down buff. They don't have a lot of ammo. They have a
decent amount of ammo. They have a decent amount. It's not a crazy archer amount, but it's still a decent crossbow amount. Okay, Yalemen.
I don't know them.
No siree, Bob.
I don't even see people use them.
Because there's no point to. You have dagger axes and every other cav unit in the game.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Just put the slingers at the bottom. When I see them hired and
listen, I've gotten 40 kills with them before. I've not gotten past 10 with any of these.
No, just the slingers hired and shieldmen kind of just makes my...
Oh yeah, whoops,
my
bad.
Just makes my nerves go...
That is true. I'm honestly debating putting Yalemen in F. You don't want to put them in F.
No one uses them and just... They don't do good.
They have a mastery. All that mastery does is charge cooldown. Their charge is just the Coutelier charge.
Yeah, and you can use Couteliers for cheaper.
Yeah, and the Couteliers have the same amount of charge cooldown as the Yalemen do with mastery.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Couteliers, but fancy.
Fancier.
It's like if Walmart turned into Target. It's weird analogy, I know.
I'm immediate high tier. Top tier, one of the top tier shield units.
They are the best shield unit. S tier. They're an absolute staple. Every match you see them. You can't go a match without them.
Oh yeah, you need them. In some maps you literally need them.
All maps you need them. If you don't have,
you're gonna take a beating.
One unit of Imperial Spear Guard in a push.
You're gonna lose a lot.
9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose that push.
This is the unit you want to have when you're pushing against a crap ton of range.
Yeah, and the downside is that in the past, because there's been no recognition for people using the shields,
no one uses them.
The team, nobody wants to bring them.
Our friend Benji hated this for a while because he used shield units.
Everybody hates it.
Yeah.
But Poros did introduce the new badge, which is actually
poggers on them
to encourage people to use these guys because they will actually get credit for using the shields and blocking damage.
I will say I give props to them for adding that so people actually have a incentive to use shield units.
Yeah. And they are really good in melee combat.
Yeah, don't they get a daze ability if they hit someone in the shield? Yeah, I remember they got a unit ability where they daze someone when they get close enough.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they will do that.
Nope. I was about to say, I don't think
Worst
they do.
musket in the game.
They have ability to hit Cav harder, but you're not going to be engaging Cav constantly.
If you have Cav charging at these guys, they're dead. They're water guns. They are literally the Nerf blasters. No, Nerf blasters hit harder than these guys. Hey, those little, like, that pistol that you pull on the bottom of that has the 3 bullets, that hits harder than these matchlocks.
You know you're crass when you get told your guns are water guns.
They are that bad. I might as well take a gray bow unit. Like, they're really that bad.
Heavy Cav.
You will have a ton of fun using them. They will knock people on their ass. Literally, because that's their entire
thing.
So
I'll give you this. I'll give you this for this. I don't know Heavy Cav. I don't really people see use them at times I've played. So
I've seen a resurgence since they got the mastery. They don't do amazing, but when you use them, you have fun. When you use them, it's just so fun to see people get knocked down and can't get back up because you're just continually running them over.
Guys, I will say this though: a lot of these units are would have been way lower tier if they didn't have a unit mastery. Porus has been giving a lot of units mastery and it's giving a lot of these units a resurgence.
Yeah, like Prefecture Heavy Cap, and then we're going to get to another one shortly. Well, Sregs.
I seen a resurgence of them.
Yes, they got a buff to their charge, I think. I see them more. They still don't do anything.
They still can get heavily destroyed.
Because I can see them more and they actually get used a lot more, I think that does put value on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of in the same boat as a Spear Sergeant. They don't do enough damage to be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Kev tools. Oh boy.
Yeah. If you want you want an archer unit, just go take the Iron Cap Bowman. They're cheaper and they're better.
Mounted bowmen in this game are really wonky and bad.
If you want a skirmisher cav unit, take Outriders or Iron Cap Bowman.
Actually, where are the Corchins? The blue ones. That doesn't matter. They'd be an F tier too. They're really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just generally bad. They have a chance to.
Actually, I'm gonna put them at the bottom of E tier just because they have the chance to shoot fire arrows.
Yeah.
They will shoot fire arrows every now and then. And they have a charge, which can be useful in a pinch.
But if you want a better bow rider and cheaper bow rider, get an Iron Cap Bowman.
I've never seen them used a single time in a siege.
Yeah.
Fort of Brashear.
This is you. I have not used them yet. Or seen really people use them. Okay.
I'd say towards the top of A tier. Because, well, you know the Phalanx, right? They have their bricks. We always compare them to the 40s.
Yeah.
The 40s brace, their brace is their whole shtick. They will brace, and you will not be able to get near them without having a gigantor group of people just mob them.
Mm-hmm.
They're useful against cav sometimes. The cav part is more niche, but they still provide that big of a support role that I would put them in the middle of A tier when we get around to organizing it.
Mm-hmm. And like we said, guys, how we're going with the tiers, it's like how good it is, if it has a hard counter. That's we're trying to go off of, like our
get your leadership worth out of them.
Yeah.
If you get these guys are 240, I think. So if you can get 240 kill score, you got their leadership worth.
Yeah.
If you got 50, you failed. You failed, my man.
All right, what's next? Oh boy.
Oh.
All right, automatically to the high tier.
These guys, if this was 3 months ago, these guys would be all the way down here.
They got a unit. Let's just say they got a unit mastery.
They got unit mastery, and it is. They are my favorite unit next to Landschnecks. Actually, no, they are my favorite unit. And
if you guys want examples, these things I've seen these things kill Wu units. I've seen them kill Iron Reapers. I've seen them kill.
They will kill.
I've seen them kill Cav.
They will kill 90% of things. So what they do is they counter strike. While they're in counter strike, they have a very large reduced damage. It's kind of like that short sword ability where he goes almost invincible.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you press 2, activate the counter strike, wait a little bit, because the mastery, it gives you health back based on how many times you got attacked during counter strike. So you wait a few seconds, you press counter strike again, you release a big slash, which does a shit ton of damage.
So basically, guys, they let themselves get the crap beat out of them, and then they send it right back at them.
Oh, hold on. That's not it. That's not it, Dragon. You press 3, they then release another, even more powerful strike, which decimates them even more. It's... oh my gosh, it's so good.
I will, fair warning, if you use them, turn down your volume. The shield bashing noise.
Turn down my volume.
The shield bashing noise.
They do make a certain noise, which if you find it annoying, then you should turn it down, but if not, then Sapakis.
Eh.
Oh my gosh. So slow, low damage.
No one uses them.
Nothing good about them. They're just terrible all around.
Yeah.
They look like they would stomp the ever-living crap out of you, absolutely destroy you. They don't. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen. Paladins.
I don't think that out of both the paladins, the only one that's good is the spear one. I've actually seen it do good with the spear one.
Oh yeah, they're a lot better. Cymekian paladins. Oh, I can't put them under Stregs. Because their heal does heal the group.
Yeah.
It heals everybody around them. So it can be useful in super certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a lot more defensive men-at-arms, but also 10 times worse because of that. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about them. They're just worse men-at-arms.
They're just not a good unit for worthiness to take.
Mm-hmm. Cymekian stalwarts.
They're way higher tier.
Best heavy shields in the game.
Yeah. I think they literally have their whole benefit is they get so many abilities where they just make them super tanky.
So here's what you do. They have a brace, which makes them automatically better than this guy right here. Because it will provide anti-cav capability. Granted, it's not great, but it makes it to where they won't all die from a singular cav charge. So they also have an advance. You do advance, get in the advance formation, move up a few feet to like the cusp of the enemy's range. You brace. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I have a doctrine which makes them immune to crowd control effects for a few seconds.
Yeah, I've seen
that. And I use that when I see a longsword start rushing in with a shield bash, or when an imp pike starts walking me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll just sit there, hunkered down with their shields, like, oh, stabby, 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 stabby.
And how we go off of the shields, guys, is how easy someone can just bash down their shields. Mm-hmm. Like that's how we're going off of how the shields are ranked, just how quickly they can hold their ground.
They have the same weakness as the Palace Guards, though, because they crouch down. They are really susceptible to flanks.
Yeah. And
they're another team-reliant unit, which is really a theme between all the heavy shields.
Yes.
They're team-reliant. But Paladins do actually put out a decent damage output and can hold their own against certain units. Unlike... that shall not be said.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
I don't know them.
Armiger Lancers.
I have
they
not.
They are yeomen, but a lot
I don't think
better.
I've ever seen anyone use them.
I'd put them here. They get overshadowed by Kriegsbruters now, but they used to be the best expedition cavalry.
Okay.
They're decent for sally outs, too, because they're super fast. They have a good charge. Not the best, but a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a fun cover commander ability.
Mm-hmm.
Which I
they have cover commander?
Yes, they follow you around. They actually have a good, like, normal attack on like 90% of cavalry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't talk about their gallop because it's awful. What their gallop does is it sends them away from the enemy all in different directions.
That sounds a bad idea.
There's no way to contain them.
That sounds like such a bad idea.
Yeah. It says that they gain health, but it's not worth it. Okay, Berserkers.
They're not trash, but there's way better units.
I feel like this and below is trash, and this is just underwhelming.
Yeah, so like, they're not bad. They're just way better options.
Yeah. They're low unit count. There's only 8 of them. That really hurts them. They do have really, really high damage output, though.
Yeah.
But because there's so few of them,
they get
ganked every time. Um, Gray.
This is you. This is you. You use them all the time.
They only cost 200 leadership, which in Conqueror's Blade for a purple unit is quite low.
What are they good with? I never really looked at their stats.
They are just a solid unit. They're an all-rounder. They can, if you use them correctly, they can trade with men-at-arms. Use them correctly, can trade with Wu-Weis.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
The Imp Jabs will destroy them. Pikes will destroy them. Azaps will... Oh my gosh, Azaps. It's like watching a man with an AK-47 go into a nursery home. It's terrifying.
So they're not a god tier unit, but they can do some good against most.
No, I would say that they belong at the bottom of A because they're good, they're fun, but they're not overpowered like these two.
Yeah.
And I'd say they still get beaten by the units
most other
tier. Yeah. They're just a good supporting solid unit.
Yeah. Alright, what's next?
Actually, oh gosh, no. Just no.
Yeah, I never seen them.
I've tried. One of our friends has told us that they're good. They're not. They're not. You'd think that an axe would do damage, right?
No.
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 It doesn't happen. They're targeting bad. It's the axe's speed when it's thrown bad.
The only reason I say they are up there higher is because they're fast.
Can be fast. They're only fast after they use their 1 and they press 1 again to go to those axes.
Yeah.
Other than that, they have, I'd say, about the same speed as prefecture pikes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want a really bad introduction to javelins, then this is your guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like a really, really bad one.
Yeah.
Claymores.
This is you. This is you again.
My baby.
This is your unit.
They massacred my boy. Alright, so the Claymores. Their 3 ability puts them into overdrive for 15 seconds. They go batshit crazy, swinging wildly like they're on cocaine. And then after that, they go into sleepy night mode where they die from anything. And
so they're a short berserker unit.
To put them at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
I love them, but their heavy strikes, their 2 ability, it doesn't have CC immunity. Damn. Anything that hits it will stop it. It just instantly stops it, and you can't get their value.
Well, I think that's the debuff on their value is because they become extremely weak to anything once they're done with their ability.
Yeah, and that ability is 15 seconds, and you have to make sure at least 3 of those seconds are running away.
Yeah.
And I love them. I love them so much because who wouldn't want a Scottish guy yelling at you with a giant sword telling you to die in
a giant claymore?
Yeah. Like, they're so cool and fun when they work, which is not that often.
Mm-hmm.
Banner guards.
Trash support unit.
Nope.
It's a supporting unit that's trash.
It's the worst supporting unit. Actually, no. I think there's one worse.
Yeah.
These 2 are some of the worst units in the game. And for different reasons. 1, no damage. Takes so much effort to do anything. 2, just awful.
Yeah.
It's just awful. Like, use them and you'll find out. Huskarls.
Yeah, what's the
bad? You take the lead on Huskarls.
Just crap. It's just better. They're way too expensive for what they do. They're just better units.
Yeah, like their charge, you have to chant. You have to chant for a long time. They just stand in place and you chant, and you have to charge it up to do that little attack. It's not worth it.
No, it's not.
Camel Lancers.
They're immediately a good tier. They're really good.
They are tier.
Good, extremely good in territory wars. I suggest bringing them in territory wars.
I would say either mid to top of B tier.
They're not a god tier unit. The only reason I say they're good is because if they go in their brace mode, they can take quite a beating, and they're really good to deal with a spam of cav.
Yeah, they're really good anti-cav, but out of that, they're super vulnerable and easy to kill.
If they get caught up with all the infantry, they'll get killed. But when you're dealing with like a lot of TW cav, they're a good unit to bring along.
Which is what I really think is one of the 2 times that they're useful.
It's basically a mobile pike unit.
Yeah, and there's what, 8 of them?
Yeah.
I wanna look this up. I'm not sure how many there are there. Camel Lancers. They
do not have them on the Wikipedia.
Okay, so well, I guess we're going to assume that they have.
There's not many. I know. I've seen it before.
8 or 10.
Yeah, there's
one of those 2.
It's a small group.
I'd have to say it's middle of B tier.
Yeah, they're not good in melee comp, but if they're in their brace mode, they can do a good counter against cav.
Again, considering 90% of this game is siege battles, and that's based mostly what we're
I wouldn't suggest them into siege wars. Only one I suggest them is TW.
Now, Wall Fort with the Camel Lancers is a good map to have them on, though, because it is a very cav-centric map. But other maps, no. T-War, this is S+.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else, not that great.
Yeah. What's next?
Murmillones.
High tier. Immediately high tier.
Yeah.
One of the most tankiest shield units in the game.
I'd say A tier.
It's high up there. Like, it's...
Their
you max upgrade them, they can take an absolute beating.
Their charge is second only to Landschnegs. And because you have a less of a charge, it makes them more tanky. After they charge, they go back into their little testudo formation and stay there and take hits with their shields and don't die.
You guys saw
That's why they're the best shock unit in this game. They are the best charging unit in this game.
Go watch out my I Love Healing Archers. I sat there and healed a group of those guys sitting on point. None of them died. You give them one healing unit, and those things will just sit on point and take on the entire damn armada.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Their drawback is that out of their charge, they don't do damage at all.
They can get outnumbered eventually.
Whatsoever. When it's a big death ball, if you don't have any good supporting team around you, they'll die instantly. Yeah.
But
now, the tactic that I use with them is I have a doctrine that makes them, again, crowd control immune, like the stalwarts.
Yeah.
And you hit with the first shield bash, and then you activate that ability, and it makes sure that their most damaging part of that charge, the second bash, hits and kills everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what were you gonna say before I?
No, you're good. No, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, you give them like a healing archer. You work with a team or just give them a healing archer. Like in the video I was showing, they're super good. Mm-hmm. If you just, they can't take on like melee troops alone like crazy, but they can hold their own if you have a team supporting them.
Definitely. Okay. Crescent monks.
Where are you going with them? No.
With berserkers. The only reason because of that is because they have anti-cav capability.
Yeah, I guess.
Their little weird spinny thing is actually, for some reason, stops cav. It staggers them and deals a surprising amount of damage to them.
Besides that, they get slaughtered.
Yeah, in anything else they get slaughtered, but when we reorder this, they're going at the bottom of this thing.
The defect, though, with them as well is they don't have a lot of troops.
They have 8. It's 8.
Yeah.
8 absolute chunkers that...
You need troop count when you're dealing with cav.
Yeah. You need troop count in this game, period. The more troop count you have, the better you are. And when you have such a restrictive troop count like 8,
Mm-hmm.
the worst you can get in the game, you're gonna be bad.
Yeah, it could be a good unit, but if it doesn't have a good amount of troop counts, you're gonna get outnumbered.
Yeah.
This this is my baby. She's an immediate high tier. High tier. She's up there.
I'd say A tier. Because they are super squishy, and I see them get wiped immediately a lot.
Okay. Doctrines? I would say they can hold their own. Okay. Purple tier? They'll dominate the field. But when it comes battling against legendary units, they'll get wiped out. The big, if you give them all their doctrines, their special doctrines they can get, that can knock down soldiers, they also have a unique ability called Disarm, where if they hit a hero or a unit, they can't attack for a bit.
I will say that I think they are more valuable than the Imp Pikes.
Yeah.
Because they also have the anti-cav capability because of that Disarm.
The cool part, that's another cool part. They can't handle getting charged in the face by cav, but if they catch a cav unit off charge, they'll kill them.
Yeah, but I think the only reason because I don't put them in S is because of the Wu-Weis. Again, like the Wu-Weis.
Well, and also if they get caught up by anything higher armored, they're gonna die.
Yeah. You can't charge head on with.
That's the sad part. For you guys, you can ask Sarah. I love Onimusha. I use them a ton.
He uses Onimusha, Men-at-Arms, and Imp Archers every damn game.
I love them, but they can get killed really fast.
And if it's not Men-at-Arms, then it's Kriegsrats. Like it's without fail. It's actually kind of funny. Kriegsrooters.
Not a god unit, but they're up there.
They're a great unit. They're definitely A tier.
Yeah, they're up there. They're not a god unit because of the other type of cav, but they're up there. They have let me explain.
Having the shield makes them so much better.
They have a charge, but the unique benefit to them is they have a healing ability. It does extra damage, but if they hit enemy units, it heals all their troops. And added if you do their whole upgrade tier, they get a cooldown reduction on their healing ability.
If you go top line.
So you could just constantly
go bottom line. Like Bajan, and it gives more healing, but you don't get the constant damage output
and healing
of top line where you keep slashing over and over and over again, and you want to have that slash back.
Well, yeah, if you get that going in the big group, like they're really good for Bandit Raid. I used to use them all the time when I first started.
They're the best unit for Bandit Raid, hands down.
It's just that healing spam, constant healing spam, healing spam.
If you get them behind enemy lines, it will take them a while to clear them out.
Yeah, they can be an annoying unit to deal with.
And you can charge ranged head on because of that shield. Their shield comes into effect when they're charging.
But they are one of the units that if they get hit by a brace, they're dead.
Yeah.
They are one of those units that brace will kill.
Yeah. The brace will immediately stop them. Percival.
High tier. Not a god unit, but high tier.
Because of the rune, I think they get bumped down to B.
The only reason I say they're super high, they're a shield unit that's also a skirmisher unit.
So, the Percivals have a charge, throw, super high damage. But since the rune's out, 90% of the time...
The only reason I say they have a benefit too is... I've used these before in maps where I have them walk up on a pathway because they have shields and they hold their shields up while they're charging. They can brace against a range unit and throw their javelins and run back.
Yep.
That's the benefit towards them. They can take a beating and still throw their weaponry out.
Since the rune came into play where it makes the hero invincible after taking lethal damage, if that rune didn't exist, they would easily be A tier. But since that rune exists, and their purpose before that was hero sniping, and either hero and range sniping, now their only purpose is range sniping.
The benefit, I say, I think it's middle, right? If they take block damage, they regain ammo.
When you get the bottom line veterancy on them, which is like their upgrade tree, they'll get the ammo back each time they take damage. Each time something hits their shield, I should say, not just take damage.
Yeah.
Which does provide more versatile situations than the Javelin Sergeants. Wu Wei's. Oh
S plus. S plus.
The best unit in the game, hands down.
S plus.
They're the best unit in the game.
Just immediately high. The only thing that
they're on par with this unit.
There's only like 2 units in the game that can, in full frontal attack, can stop them. Besides range, at full fire range, is Cav. Heavy legendary Cav is the only thing that can fully kill them in a full-on charge.
Yeah, and sometimes adepts.
If you get lucky enough.
Because for some reason, the Wu Wei's turnaround slash goes straight through the damage reduction and completely ignores it.
Yeah.
This unit, it constantly gets its 1 back, which then triggers its 2, which is a super powerful splash, and then you just keep doing that over and over again.
Debuff if you fuck up and they don't get a kill with their abilities, your cooldown's longer.
Yeah.
It's the only fuck up ability.
Cooldown is only 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is still insane.
You give like 3 guys with Wu Wei's attacking a death ball, you'll stop that death ball.
1 guy with Wu Wei's will stop it.
I have seen though, if you get a pike wall, like they can do stun damage, in time before their abilities hit, you can stop them.
Yeah.
But your pikes need to hit them before they get their chain.
If you have a really lucky 40 or Imp Pike Walk.
Well, Cyril saved my units one time before. I remember which match it was, but he saved my units from a Wu Wei because he managed to Pike Walk right before their chain ability hit me.
Yeah, right before their 2 ability hit with the Imperial Pike Walk, stops it, full counters it.
Without their abilities, Wu Wei's would be shit. I'm telling you right now, Wu Wei's, if they didn't have all their ability spam, they would not be a good unit.
Yeah, they would only be a half decent because without their abilities, they do pretty good base damage.
Let me add to this fact, with their combo, they turn into Naruto speed when they're using their ability.
Oh my gosh, they turn into the Naruto cosplayer that just sprints at you.
They will do a full-on... They will book it after your ass. I've seen them chase down heroes.
You cannot escape them once you engage them. Your unit will not escape, and it will die, no matter what it is.
Yeah, yeah, they're scary.
Yeah.
So hey, Conqueror's Blade, do us a favor, nerf them, please.
At this point, I would like to see them all the way down here.
Like, just nerf them, please. They're not a. It's scary how bad
they are. The single-handedly
most scariest
best unit in the game.
Most
they
scariest.
Are the best unit.
I will admit to this. We have seen units always come up a walkway, and both of us will just start running. Mm-hmm. We don't want to fight it.
It doesn't matter what unit you're using. It's gonna die.
Either your unit's gonna die, or you're gonna lose half of all your entire army, with the point where your unit's not gonna be in any working condition.
Yeah. It's either you lose most of your unit to kill the Wu Wei, or the Wu Wei's absolutely steamroll you and keep their entire unit alive.
I'll say this right now. You let a Wu Wei unit into your backlines, your entire game's lost.
Oh my gosh.
I have done that. I've won an entire match because I got behind them.
You get 150 kills off of that one tactic. It's insane.
They're scary. They're scary.
A little scary. We're just gonna repeat the same thing if we keep talking about them. We have to move on.
Yeah, we gotta move.
Companion Cav.
Not a god unit, but they can hold their own.
Favorite units.
Yeah, they can. If you work
them correctly, they are a great.
Oh yeah.
Cav unit.
They can get screwed though in tight corridors. They can kind of get screwed in there.
These two are basically rivals at this point.
Yeah.
They're good for different reasons. I would personally say that Companion Cav is better because it can one-shot Iron Reapers.
It is a good hero killer. I will say that off the bat.
Gosh,
Companion Cavs are really good.
Oh my gosh.
Their 1 is a really good hero killer, and they have a desperate skill. They're number 2. Basically, they throw their spears out like a just slam it into the ground into their enemies, and they draw out swords.
Stunt. They jump like the Sapahis do, except it actually does damage.
Yes.
And
the cool part is they can get their spears back from resupply.
They go into their second phase, which is their sword phase, and they have an Iron Cap Scout Freakspruder Charge-esque ability, which then does even more crap tons of damage.
And here's the cool thing I like of them: they're not too overpowered. They can get killed by a pike walk, or any other.
They will get killed by.
They do not have health.
They are very vulnerable after they use any of their abilities, which is why they're mainly used as a skirmishing cav. And the way I use them is I lure a unit out, this dude that gets too overconfident. I turn my ass around, use the one, his unit is gone. He's left there standing, and then bam, he is dead.
So when they do their one, is basically they do this like weird spin where they spin their spear around and they do kind of an AoE charge attack.
It is a lance.
Lance, sorry. Where they do this like spin around with it and hit everything in a direction.
It's wonky. Its targeting is really bad if you use it in a bad situation. And again, they can counter certain units with their stomp.
But they can get
time it just right, it will counter Wu-Wei's. I have done it so many times. It's perfect. It's amazing.
And be honest with you guys, Penny Cap, it's a pretty balanced troop.
It's probably the most balanced recent unit. The most recent balanced unit in the game.
Yeah.
And I love them.
Alright, let's continue on before we do what we do with the... Alright, we're in the 5-star.
Tercios.
That's you. I don't see really people use them. That's you. Not a good unit.
They're not worth it.
Yeah.
Sure, they're 280 leadership, but
there's better guns.
They're so situational, and with the rune again, the rune just destroys their purpose.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they have an overpowered shot, you shoot it, and then they go into cooldown, pull out their swords for self-defense. And that shot is normally supposed to one-tap heroes. But now that the rune's here, and everybody uses it, because if you don't, you're a dumbass, they're almost worthless.
Yeah.
Their guns are decent, sure. But if we're going just on guns, I'm going to take these, or practically most other gun units in the game.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people think they're good.
They're not good.
Yeah.
They're fun. Not good.
I think their abilities are just ass. I think that's the biggest problem.
Their only ability is their charge. During their charge, sure, they shoot on the way to whack you in the face with their oversized baseball bat. But after that, they're awful. And Liao's Rangers are fire
way
better
Rangers, for that.
But a lot better. And I'll tell you why when we get there.
All right, what's next?
Cataphracts.
Don't know though. I don't think anybody uses. Do you use them? I don't.
They're used sometimes. They have similar stuff to the dagger axes. But I think the only difference is that they have a shield, and they cost 305, I think.
Now I remember their problem. They're the same with the dagger axes. They'll get a good charge and then they'll get killed because they don't have a charge.
Yeah. They'll charge in, and then they'll be there, realize that they shouldn't have done that, try to get away, and then get their butt touched by everything else.
Yep.
And because their abilities are essentially the same as the dagger axes, I have to put them in C tier.
Yeah. Just because the like they don't get.
They cost 60 more leadership, and you're getting the same thing.
And they're basically useless without a charge.
Yeah. Right. And again, their charge is on a 45-second cooldown.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Iron Reapers.
Immediate high tier.
S+. Easy.
Especially because of the buff they just did to them right now.
If this was before the buff,
shit,
I would put them A tier.
They were not the greatest before.
They were still good before the buff, but not amazing. Now after the buff, it feels like nothing can hurt them.
They're scary.
They are they're like just Kevlar.
let me just say this: they are the blunt weapon damage gods.
They are like a bunker in human form. They are chonky. They dish out damage. They knock you on your ass. Wish you didn't come to work today, and then smash your face in with their flail.
Yeah.
And then go home, eat McDonald's to make sure they stay chonky.
Basically, if they hit you with their flail, they'll take your soul.
Yeah.
They're scary.
I'm just doing this for organization purposes, by the way.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the Iron Reapers are better in case anybody was confused.
Yeah, no.
Because...
yeah, you're good.
Let's exist. Before I get PTSD. Monastic Knights. I've been seeing a lot more of them. I think they got a silent buff.
They may have.
They seem a lot tankier.
Yeah.
Now, they have the same problem as the dagger axes. They have the charge. It does the damage.
But they're screwed if they get caught.
But they're so vulnerable. But I think they are better because they have the tankiness to absorb that damage.
Yeah.
I'm still putting it in the same tier.
But they'll just better than that.
Because it's better.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We probably Lance Cavalry. Lance Cavalry rely too much on their charge. If they don't have the charge, does not end immediately, they are going to die.
There's a very select few that are really an amazing unit like that. Amazing Lancer Cav. And, oh, trust me, you'll see it shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Rattan Rangers. F tier.
No, you didn't know it.
Again, it's another ranged Cav unit. And you'd think, oh, they're Rattans on a horseback.
They're skirmishers.
Must be so good. No, they're not. They're ass. They are worse than swamp ass in the middle of July. It's terrible.
Swamp ass.
They do less damage. They don't have consistent poison. They're
just general. Oh god,
when terrible. Winged Hussars.
High tier. Especially right now. High tier.
Instantly. Winged Hussars, you have anti-cav. You think you have anti-cav? Winged Hussars go through that anti-cav. You get them bottom veterancy. Its ability on the bottom veterancy, when it's charging, it ignores any bracing unit's effect. That means
pikes don't do anything.
It means halberdiers. It means fortibraccios, wherever the hell they are, right there. It will go right through them.
Yep.
It will get 100 kills on the chart. Well, maybe not that much, but at a obscene amount. And it's insane. I can't express how annoying it is to bring your anti-cav out and say, oh, there's cavalry. I need to brace for it and prepare for when it charges at me. You notice it's winged hussars, and you're like, oh shit, well, there goes my unit.
Yeah, there goes all my pike armor.
Yep.
I think that's good.
Is there anything more you want to say about it?
No, they're just good chargers. That's like their biggest thing. They just
good chargers. They're amazing chargers.
Yeah, they're.
They're second to only another cav unit that we'll get
we'll get
later.
to the cav unit. That's the most overpowered cav unit in the game.
Keshigs.
You're gonna know this one. I don't know them.
It's worse. Well, it's not worse. It still has the same effectiveness. It's just that they cost 310 leadership.
Yeah.
I'll put them in D because they do still have that effectiveness.
Okay.
They cost 310 leadership to do the same thing this 120 leadership horse dude will do.
Yeah.
It honestly baffles me how people even greenlight this sort of thing to put in the game.
Yeah, that a green unit does better than most legendary.
Yeah.
Alright. What's
Falconettis?
Not a god unit, but it's really good at changing the tide of the war. A tier or S tier?
I'd say mid A tier. When we organize it, it's going mid A tier.
It can kill siege weapons, and it has an accuracy thing. Thank God it has an accuracy problem. It would be scary.
Get the doctrine on it, it will become amazing.
It can knock down shield units. It's basically portable cannons.
Well, yeah, that's the entire concept. It is portable cannons.
Just
it will hard counter the new pikes because they're so tightly compact.
It will counter most things. Mm-hmm. You really can't counter unless you have archers to stop them.
When you're in a death ball and you see the cannonballs flying towards your face, the death ball cannot push up. It will get knocked down by those falconettis, and it will get destroyed by just 3 melee units. That's how much value the falconettis bring.
I would say for an unlocked unit, I would suggest unlocking this because there is a challenge that I think they still have. That is to destroy siege weapons. Falconettis are pretty nice to have when you go after that challenge.
The falconettis are the best unit to bring when you... Well, they're really the only infantry that can do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
When you have destroy siege weapons for a seasonal challenge or a weekly challenge, you should bring falconettis if you have them.
Because trust me, they'll do it. Oh, this is the one I've been waiting for. They did get a buff recently, and I've been seeing a lot more uses of them.
Because there's... before the buff, I would put them here.
Oh, yeah, they were complete shit.
But before. After the buff, I'm thinking...
They're up. They're not God or
bottom
good.
C, top D.
Yeah. They're not God or good.
Yeah.
But they're up there.
Yeah. I'd say bottom C because...
Just do me a favor and kind of switch them with the feather crossbows. Because I kind of do feel like they have the benefit because they can actually aim up higher. And they have range.
Where are the feathered crossbows?
To the left of the... To the left.
Oh. Yeah.
That's just...
Oh yeah, this one is all fucked up with organization.
Sorry, that my own little nerves. Like, yeah, no, they're at least better because they have range than the feather.
You got so close and started whispering to me seductively to move them.
Oh yeah, I put my hand near my mic. Went, hey, can you just move? Can you? Before I kill you, because that makes me want to lose my mind.
Yeah.
You'll know these guys. I think they're shit. I've never seen them do good at all.
They're hard to use. They're hard, but oh, hold on. They're hard to use. Fun to use, but they get overshadowed by almost everything in the game.
Yeah, and there's better usages.
Their damage output is really good though. They look like they would be tanky, but they're not. That's why they're bad. They are not tanky at all. And you get so overconfident when you use them because they look like they'll take anything. They look like they'll be able to get suplexed by Hulk Hogan and survive.
Huh?
But no, they get drop kicked by Midget Jim and die.
They also have dinner plates on their chest. I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, they have their little dinner plates for when they eat the blood of their enemies that they never get.
Ooh, okay.
Flamers.
Let me explain this.
These are the most situational unit ever.
But okay, let me do this. Before the patch that fixed them, they were F tier, absolute dog shit. After the patch, they got way better. Before the patch, they were.
Trouble with them after the patch. I still have trouble with them shooting into the ground.
They still have that problem, but they're better. Before the patch, they were just F tier, dog ass.
They're definitely better.
They also did get a deep leadership mess with, didn't they?
I feel like they're 305.
Yeah, I remember it used to be a lot bigger, and it got debuffed.
I think it was 315 before.
Like F tier, they were F tier before the patch. They were just dog ass.
F tier, yeah, they would have been F tier before the patch because what they would do is they would take their flamethrowers, turn them towards the ground, start roasting marshmallows in the feet of their allies.
Not aim at anything.
Not aim at the enemy.
Yeah.
After the patch, they're better about that, but I did run into it earlier today, a problem with
They
that.
still have that problem, but it's a lot better.
It's specifically with their two, though.
Yeah.
It's specifically with that one.
But normal attacking, I've seen them do better.
Because of that...
You should request more time next time it pops back up.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright, let's keep going. What else we got?
Liao's Rangers.
A really good.
With these guys.
They're a really good screw around unit.
So, their abilities change depending on what veterancy you go. You go top line, it's better anti-cav, because what it is a shot,
gun
like a
spear
shotgun shot.
Yeah.
And you blast it, and it destroys a charging cav. I've been able to counter hussars with them.
And the cool part is, when they're normally moving around, they'll just start shooting.
Oh yeah, they'll just start shooting, and it sounds epic.
They're
awesome.
A really good skirmish type unit. They'll fuck some people up.
And then if you go bottom line, you get the Devastate ability, which is also a doctrine. So, what Devastate is just a really hard smack with their big old baseball bat.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, that doctrine actually just increases their benefit if you get that as well.
Yeah. But their 2 is also that it's.
Don't they increase? Don't they get their ammo back if they smack the shit out of someone?
There's no ammo count.
I thought there was.
Ammo. Nope.
Oh.
It's infinite.
Must have been thinking something else.
And Leoz Rangers.
I swear I thought it was.
Fire Lancers also shoot when they're just walking around, but it doesn't sound as cool.
Yeah.
But you charge in with them, and then you do their 2, and then depending whether or not you have Devastation, you do Devastation after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then wipe out anything that's remaining. But their main value does come from their 2 and their anti-cav skirmishing capabilities.
Yeah. Because
the 2 will hit multiple enemies and stagger cav. It's really fun to use. Just hold on. I'm gonna cut that bit out.
Right. Back. There we go.
Shield Maidens.
Like our best friend would say,
I'm tempted to put them in F tier, honestly.
They used to be good before Mastery System came out. We weren't here when the Mastery System started. We only have what we have from friends.
We only have word of mouth of how good they used to be.
Until Mastery came out.
Yes.
Now they're shit.
Because of how many units there are that are just better and buffed. Like, Shield Maidens remain almost untouched. They got a buff, but it's almost like they didn't. It's like they didn't get a buff at all.
I will say they're not useless, but they're not. You should not use your leadership on them.
So I guess E tier is a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they're not useless, but they're not. You just don't use your don't waste your leadership on it.
Yeah.
Medow's good unit.
Interesting unit.
It's another anti-cav unit.
There's better anti-cav.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I'd say B.
Yeah.
Now, their problem is that, 1, they're not good against infantry at all. They will get ran over by almost every infantry in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're braced for cav, they'll still get hit. Their front line will still get hit by that cav because their polearm is not long enough to
delay it.
Keep the cav at bay. Yeah. So they're still going to take losses from that cav, which is why I think that they get bumped down.
I would say they're a bit tankier.
Really? I've had problems of them being squishy.
Yeah. They're not tanky, but I've seen them last a little bit longer against a excessive amount of range.
That is true. They do decent against ranged. But, I mean, their Carnage is the only good thing against infantry, and that's on a 40-second cooldown, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that anti-cav, which, again, really hurts them still, it's not good. It's useful, but there's better.
Definitely. Right, what is next?
Shenji's.
Not a god tier unit, but it can fuck some people up.
It is S tier though.
Their guns and grenades are both devastating.
Their guns are powerful and shoot like a shotgun slug. And then what they have are grenades that they can lob
over walls,
over a skyscraper, and it will do a ton of damage. It will knock the unit down, and after that they get a musket damage buff.
If they think the Lords is the one thing they have is they have an ammo capacity on their grenades.
Yes, they when you have the doctrine on them, I think you have 4 grenade throws before you have to resupply.
Because they would be a very more scary unit if they didn't have ammo capacity.
And they have a lower unit count compared to others. They have 17, I think.
The only time I would say they would be in S tier if their cooldown wasn't long on the grenades. If that cooldown was like insanely like short, they'd be S tier.
I think they're still S tier.
No, S plus. Sorry. If that cooldown was just quicker, they just start lobbing grenades like it's the 4th of July.
If it was a lot quicker, then it would be the
overpowered
most overpowered range in the game.
Yeah,
for sure. They're already amazing, even with the cooldown they have. It's
because their guns alone can still hold them on,
and they're fun. You don't feel like you're being a piece of shit by playing Men at Arms. You have fun with them.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? Houndsman.
This is you. This is all you, buddy.
They're so situational.
What was that cry?
Because I love them. I love them so much, just like the Claymores. But they suck.
I will see the one big benefit is they can defend themselves if something gets close to them. They have something ability to defend them.
Their dogs will tie up units trying to get close to them, and then their triple shot will destroy them. Their dogs are a good anti-cav thingamabobber.
Thingamabobber.
Well, I didn't know what else to call them.
Yeah.
Because there's not like another unit that uses an actual creature besides Houndsman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that they're not riding is what I should say. That doesn't sound right. Not that they're riding. Hey, yo.
Oh, my lord. All right.
But, the Houndsmen, they're another skirmishing ranged. They don't do that well when it's a big battle.
I'll say this. They're better than Vanguard.
Every archer is better than Vanguard archers. That's why Vanguard archers are down here at the very, very bottom of F tier.
Yep. Complete shit.
I love playing with them because they're so fun to use. They're such a unique unit.
Here's a little benefit they have. They slow down enemies if they hit them with their abilities.
They slow down enemies, and they will cause bleed. They do cause bleed with their dogs if you have them full vetted.
In archer duelry, any other type of better, like purple type of archers will destroy them.
Because their 1, it's just whoever's nearest, and their 2 is very... the targeting is super weird on their 2.
Yeah.
And their 2 is a slow shot anyways, so... again, yeah.
Their main benefit are their dogs, I believe.
Yes, that would be their main thing.
Chevaliers. I don't know them. Yeah, I don't really think they're... No one uses them and just...
They're another complex unit because there are units that you bring with them as a retinue. I know you can bring the green crossbows wherever they are. Here.
Yeah.
Bring the green crossbows, and then they get a firing and damage buff when you activate the Chevaliers 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Chevaliers 2, what it does is basically it does a giant stab with their lances, and then it buffs their retinue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other main one you can bring with them is Couteliers if you want to go super crazy cav.
Yeah.
Because there's 18 in the Couteliers, and then there's, I think, 11 or 12 in the Chevaliers. Actually, I need to look this up.
Watch it not be in there.
Chevaliers.
Hey, it's in there. Game?
Chevaliers. Unit count 14. Oh, wow.
Damn.
And then, so, Chevaliers 14. Couteliers.
You okay there, buddy?
Have 18. So that's 32 cav charging at you.
Yeah.
I think they do have the potential to be decent. I think everything above this is better.
Yeah, this is way better cav.
For its buck. Because Chevaliers are the most expensive unit in the game at 340 leadership. They are expensive French assholes.
Oh boy, so this
guards.
our Betty's favorite unit, but it would really piss them off because this is before they added the metal that gives defense. They can actually take somewhat of a beating, and they're another unit that could throw the damage they take right back at someone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the full definition of their ability, but I know you basically take damage and you throw it right back at someone.
So I've used them a couple of times. You go into their shield formation, their historical Viking shield formation, and you take damage, which charges up their ability to use their axes. You press 2, and it activates their axe phase, and you keep pressing 1 to do a super powerful strike. And I think you get a small amount of CC immunity when you activate the 1 each time.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that's what he's told us.
They have a good defense. They have a good defense. I've learned that.
Yeah.
They're good.
I would have to say bottom of A. Either bottom of A or the very tippy top of B.
Yeah.
I would say bottom of A because I've seen them do a lot more than these units. I've seen them have the potential to do a lot more than these units.
Mm-hmm. The problem is they have to take damage, and that could be a bad thing.
Yes. And they do have another restrictive count of people. It's 16, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, 16. Again, another low unit count normally equals less good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Assassins.
So, here's the thing about them. They can get killed eventually. Like, you have a man army that will kill them. But if they get into a backline, they can be one of the most annoyingest units to deal with.
Like, it's...
They're annoying.
We just have to rank them smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, they're... Okay. In frontal combat, they'll die. But if they get into a backline, they'll just start running around stabbing people.
Yes. So, they're a unit count of 10. They're probably one of the only units that have a low unit count and are actually good.
It's good for them to be lower.
Yes.
Because they're harder to catch.
Yeah. So, they get into your backlines. They drop their smoke bomb so they can't get attacked. You can't target them when they're in their smoke.
And then
they just keep slashing at your range. One by one, down they go. And they will kill heroes. They will assassinate.
They'll kill.
That was really bad. I am so sorry.
I'm gonna kill you now.
Please do, because I want to cry every time I see them. Ready REI.
No one uses... They're crap. No one uses them.
They're the worst quote-unquote javelin in the game. They cost $3.15, I think.
And they have no ammo.
Actually, I'm not sure. I want to...
I also forgot, I think if I remember correctly, they have no ammo.
Did I spell that? Ready REI? Yeah, I spelled that right. They don't have one. That's how little people use them. I don't remember their leadership, but however much it is, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no. There's way better javelins. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, here we go with the shit-powered cav.
So, Yan Yadao, we just call YOLO cav because you literally just YOLO them in there.
It's up there.
Oh shit.
Oh god, oh god, what are you doing? What have you done? They're not a...
They are overpowered, but because Zhangzhou Heavy Cav exists, they have to go down a tier.
Yeah.
They still do a crap ton, but you see a lot less of them.
And those, I'm pretty sure you actually can counter those with some pike type units.
Kind of. Because they get so scattered, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll whittle them down. It's super wonky and super powerful. Mm-hmm. And I hate using them because it's so weird.
Yes.
Orochi.
Not a god unit, but it's up there. Unit, it's a really good A. Yeah, it's an A unit. It's okay. So we talked about this. So the Wuis were basically the children of Orochi Samurai and Onimusha together. It has the same abilities. So Orochi does this kind of like pike walk push attack, and then does a two.
It's Japanese lance forward, and then it gets cooldown off of how many units it kills on its ability to thrust again.
And then its two is like this spin attack it does,
and it disarms.
Yeah, it's a really good unit, but this unit it can get countered really easily, but it could really fuck people over.
If this was a few seasons ago, if this was Avalon season, them and Onimusha would be S tier.
Yeah, but there's units that can fuck them.
But currently,
they work well team.
It's kind of hard to use them.
I will say it's another good team benefit troop.
Definitely.
All right. What's next?
Zweihanders.
They're a good unit.
Them Zweihandlers.
They're a good unit. They're not a god unit though, because range, anything else that hits harder could fucking them up. Because the problem is their two will get them, and then without that two, they get fucked up.
Yeah.
The benefits are
to be top lined. I think is the one that gives them Knight's Gambit cooldown, which is their 2 ability. I'm debating whether to put them bottom of A or top of B.
I don't know. Like they basically,
I feel like they're too squishy and die so quick to be part of A.
The biggest benefit value they have is just that initial damage they throw out with their 2. It just fucks people up, and then without that
damage,
they get killed.
Their 1 is an okay backup after their 2, but
it won't.
They're so vulnerable that you rarely get a second use out of.
And here's the thing:
1 engagement.
If you're dealing with infantry and that infantry has any type of range, your units are dead.
Oh yeah, it's super susceptible to range. I mean, obviously because it doesn't have a shield.
Yeah.
But it's even worse somehow. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's even worse.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Next one?
Yeah.
Queen's Knights.
High tier. Extremely high tier. Just because of their control immunity. S+. It's that control immunity.
No, it's not S+. It is not S+ anymore. They got the 5 seconds taken away. It's only 2 now.
It is? Yes. Oh, I did not know. Never mind then. Like I said, I was going to say.
That's why I'm debating bottom of S, top of A.
A. Like I said, the only reason I was going to say S+ is because that control immunity it does with its 2 abilities is overpowered as fuck.
So, for context, back in the Avalon season when these guys came out, there was a doctrine that would allow their block to not get damaged for 5 seconds. Well, it says 3 seconds, but then you stack that on top of its other doctrine, which gives it 2 seconds of that block immunity. And its 2 ability, you get, I think, 70% damage reduction? Or is it... I can't remember. But there's a not doctrine. The veterancy line gives you 70% damage reduction for 3 seconds after you use one of its 2 abilities, and I can't remember which one.
Point and simple, this thing was a nightmare to fight in melee.
It was.
Still is, but it's less of a threat.
It is still S+.
It's still less of a threat.
But now that it doesn't have the 5 seconds, that they took that doctrine away and removed the extra 3 seconds, it is worse.
But it still can fuck some people up.
I find mine dying super quickly.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in an engagement with them, now that it's only 2 seconds. But they're still great.
The reason why we said it was so overpowered is because they could match up to Man-at-Arms just because of that CC. They could tank through the Man-at-Arms cover commander, just any spam ability that instant kill, they could just tank it.
Honestly, I think they should go at bottom of S.
I'll take whatever you think. They're a good unit.
Because they still counter Men-at-Arms. They can fight Iron Reapers head to head.
Yeah, like I said, it's just that ability to tank that initial frame damage that saves a lot of them.
Yeah, it's just honed down now.
Yes.
It's like a football player that got a dad bod.
Brr. I think we're almost done. Oh, S plus.
S fucking plus.
Fucking Christ, this fucking thing.
This is the second most, actually tied for most overpowered unit in the game, the Wu-Weis. It will... I want to cry even talking about it.
I'll give a point example. You have a death ball and it doesn't have, even if it has pikes, you send 2 units of these heavy cav into that death ball, that entire death ball dies.
Not even 2, just 1. You send this 1 unit, you will get 150 kills off of that 1 charge.
Not to mention it also is a hero killer.
14 of yours will still be alive for another charge.
So here's the benefit. It has 2 abilities. It has its charge ability, and then it has its smack ability. You want to know how overpowered its smack ability is? You can instant kill a hero with a smack ability.
The smack-a-doodle will whack your noodle, and you will die.
That's why it's overpowered. We've had heart attacks when we see those things coming around corners.
And the 2 abilities lower each other's cooldowns. The 2 ability lowers the 1. The 1 ability lowers the 2. So it's just constant death and destruction.
The only way to counter these things is if you catch them off their abilities.
Yes, that and a shit ton of ranged. Because they have block. They have block somehow.
Yeah, and the funny part is your pikes won't do anything to them. Your pikes will do nothing.
It has 400 block, I think, with the doctrine. Or no, that's how much it increases. It has base block already, and then it increases that by 400. So you need an obscene amount of people to destroy it.
Yep.
Insane how crazy it is.
Here comes this one. It's not shit. It's just not good.
It's meh. It's with Medao's, I think.
Yeah, it's a good unit, but it's got a lot of problems.
I would say, now that we're gonna now that we're gonna start ordering this shit, it is better than Medao's, in my opinion.
I will say it's a good... If you put it into formation with its pike walk, the benefit is this thing can do pike walks like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't add to the fact that it's...
It's not a pike walk. It's a brace walk.
Yeah.
It's not an Imperial pike walk that many thought it would be. It is a brace while moving. But one of their downsides is how compact they are, and also just they can only move forwards and back doing the brace.
Yeah. Here's their main problem. I talked about this in my video. They get flanked, they will die.
Flanked by anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Even head on. Half the units in this game head on still kill it. And Imperial pikes will walk through them. I have seen it happen time and time again. And it is sad, honestly. It's honestly sad.
It's another unit, I would say, to really use its power, it needs a team. It's another very useful unit that needs its team to work with.
I think that this unit needs the most micromanagement out of any unit in this game. It, hands down, the most micro possible. But it is so rewarding when you do good with it. It is so rewarding.
It has its normal brace, right? And then it has its walk.
Like strike.
And then does during its Orochi like strike, I think it does 3 or 2.
It does 3. It does 3 strikes, and then if you have it on the top veterancy line, it has a chance to knock down enemy units.
Ooh, here's the ability I forgot about. Divine Grace.
Oh yeah, the Divine Gaze. So that one's only good when you have the doctrines for it, purple and blue, because it stacks over time. When it's at 5 stacks, you do 40% more damage to enemy unit inside the Divine Gaze range, and then when it gets to 10 stacks, you take 40% less damage from those units. So you're basically circumventing that damage that you should be taking back to the enemy.
And like I said before, it's a really good death. Like I said before, it's a death ball. It's a really good to be with a team.
You have to be with a team. There's no if and or but. You have to. Um, it's it's a it was it's underwhelming.
Its traits are highly designed against Cav.
Yes, and the only time you're gonna actually see any usefulness come from that anti-cav capability is when they charge you head on like a newbie.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't happen.
I will say they have a good benefit. They can hold up a wall, like a hole for a bit, if they're doing their walk.
I tend to use them more as the anti-infantry side with the Ares Flurry, because I brace, I walk forward, Ares Flurry, walk back, and then when another teammate starts pushing up, I start moving forward again, and then may sit down if the line starts to stall.
Yeah.
Just like stays there and they're just slogging it out. I'll just stop my unit, wait for Ares Flurry to come back again, do the flurry again, and rinse and repeat. And that's what I found works best with them. And I've been able to get 80 kill games with that tactic.
Yeah. All right.
So, do you want to order this?
I guess. Let's go.
All right. Let's just start from the top down. Wu Wei's... I think this is just perfect how it is in S+. These are really the most overpowered units in the game, in order.
YOLO. I think YOLO Cav tops Iron Cap Scouts.
Really? I don't think it does for its value, because if you're bringing YOLO, it's much harder to use. It's a lot harder to use than Zhangzhou Heavy Cav.
Yeah, never mind then.
And that's why I always call Zhangzhou Heavy Cav better YOLOs whenever I see them in a match.
People probably think we're screwing out when it comes to Man-at-Arms that they would be S+. The only reason I say Man-at-Arms are not S+,
is because they have these units exist.
They have counters. There's a good amount of units.
And the counters are the S+ units. It's their only counters.
They can go toe to toe with Iron Cap swordsman units, but Iron Reapers Wu-Wei's will just shred them.
Yep.
Yeah, S+ is fine. S+.
I think Men-at-Arms is top of S though.
Yeah, it's a good unit.
I'd say Queen's Knights is bottom of S. I'd say that's a pretty good area to put them in. Hussars. Well, YOLOs definitely go next to Men-at-Arms for the S though. I would take YOLOs if I knew how to use them over Hussars.
Yeah.
But they're so wonky. Absolute wonkers. What do you think about that? Moving Imp Spears down there.
I will say though, Imperial Spearguard I think need to be hired in Rattans.
Oh yeah. I think Rattans do go under Queen's Knights. Actually, no, I can't say that. I can't say that. I've seen Rattans do so much more for their leadership than Queen's Knights do for their 295 leadership. I
generally think it's good, actually.
I would say this, though.
Yeah. I say the range, though, stays together.
Oh, yeah.
Those three, the Grenadiers, Kriegsrats, and Imperial Archers are just very three overpowered range units.
I think S tier is perfect how it is now.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Alright, A tier. Who were we putting at the top of A tier again? I kind of forgot. I think it was
the highest ones are going to be Imperial Pike Guard, Onimusha, Companion Cav.
Oh yeah, Orochi, Onimusha, and
the
Pikes.
Cav as well.
Yeah.
It's those four. It's that top line that we decided, I think.
Yeah. Janissaries, I think, provide a bit more variability than the Imp Pike, or not Imp Pikes, the Imp Javs do.
Mm-hmm.
Because just how low the ammo is really limiting.
I think the longbows.
Let me just put the gray at the bottom, just to.
Excuse me.
The longbows seem pretty decent where they're at. I think.
The only reason I say we chop a lot is because of that range. That range.
So are you saying like here or something?
Yeah, because I combine that with arrow rain. It's scary how much it does when it has arrow rain.
Yeah, I do actually agree with that. It will counter every ranged unit in the game just because no ranged unit has the
range
absolute insane.
There's only 2 units that has that much range. Fucking Eddies and longbows.
Yeah, and Namkin's coming to close third. I'ma say Bim, Bammo, Blammo.
Yeah, I can see that.
Skadoodle. There's a pickle in my noodle. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my main that's what I want to do off of instinct with reordering this.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
So again, it's like who gets their leadership worth the most consistently?
True.
And this seems the best way out of them.
The funny part, the only reason that Spear Militia are that high is because they're a cheap militia unit.
Yeah, just
with unit mastery.
Yeah, it could write unit mastery is still crazy to me.
All right, B plus.
B.
Actually,
who goes at the top of here?
Actually, it's probably only the legendaries that would make it up there.
Yeah, I think the legendaries do have to go up there.
Because I don't think
I think the only one that wouldn't go up there is the monastic knights.
Yeah.
And I do think the Leal's Rangers do go in middle with these other 3.
Yeah.
Hamel's definitely a bit higher.
Well, yeah, just that ability to be a mobile pike that can haul ass.
Yeah.
Is kind of nice.
I think swap that. I just can't confidently put Lanchenecks on the same row as some of these other units.
Yeah.
Just because they get like 2 or 3 charges off and they die.
I was gonna say,
granted, it's always super high value charges.
Just they're gonna die eventually.
It just hurts to watch them die.
But I say Royal Guard drops that just because they can go out of their comfort zone, throw a couple spears at a bunch of ranged units, and run back without dying.
I'm gonna put Jav Sergeants down there, to be honest.
I think that's actually pretty good. Sergeants are fine where they are because they're not good. They're like they have the problem with Lanchenecks. They just get a good charge and then they die.
Yeah. I do see a lot more value out of all of these units than the condos do.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to swap the prefectures and condos because prefectures are just so much better than condos. what do you think of this?
I think that's good.
Do a little boop there. Honestly,
actually already said. I feel like. Kind of think this one's actually pretty good already.
I'm just gonna do a little bit of that because it hurts to see claymores under crescent monks and berserkers. Actually, no, these two have to go at the very bottom. They have to. They have to. Should we just keep woodcutters there?
No, it's just not even know.
And that looks good now.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Let's go next one.
Fuck. I don't even know what to say about this one.
This actually already looks fine, to be honest with you. The only one I would. Yeah, no, I think this is fine actually already.
Maybe swap that, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's fun to me already.
And that. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, it just looks better because they're all just terrible. They're equally bad.
I don't think we need to really rank F. I don't think we really need to rank F tier. F tier is
we know
shit.
that all of these are equally useless.
Yep, I think that's about it.
The worst unit in the game goes to Vanguard Archers.
I love how both of us were just like Vanguard Archers.
It does, though. It's so bad.
I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was our tier list for Conqueror's Blade units.
Yep. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see all of it.
They're probably not gonna be able to really see now if we zoom too much out.
Yeah. Let me give me a second here.
Just kind of show off everything.
So in S tier, we got the Wu Wei, Zhangjue, Iron Reapers, Rattan, Marksman, Iron Cap Swords, and Iron Cap Scouts. That, oh my god, every time I see them, I know that I'm gonna cry.
The only reason, guys, it's just, the reason we put them up there is because they're just a multiply damage. I've seen an Iron Cap Swordman, a single entity, one-shot a hero.
Like,
their damage system is broken.
Not the singular unit, the singular entity of that unit.
Their damage counters broken.
One body. Yeah. Then S tier, Men at Arms, Yolos, Winged Hussars, Shenjis, Azeps, Kriegsknights, Imp Archers, Halbs, Zycalians, Imp Spears, Rattans, Queen's Knights, and Martellatori. Yeah. Again, another thing where I'm like, oh, maybe I can fight them, but they're still scary as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then A tier, them. I'm not reading off all of them because I don't want to.
Yeah, no, you don't have to read them all off. Just slowly show off all the...
Yeah. These guys, you're like, oh, they're there. Cool. And these guys, you're like, oh.
That's easy.
Why did you bring these guys? You're like, why did you willingly bring these units?
The only scary one in C is just the Flamers if you get caught off on guard.
Yeah, the Flamers in they're the most situational thing ever.
Only if you catch someone off guard with them.
Yeah. Only if you catch them off guard and you're on C Point in Reginopolis. That's the only time they're good.
A certain map, yes.
I mean, it is, though.
D is just
D tier, you're like, wow, you're really stupid.
D is just what the fuck.
D is just like, you're like kind of confused. Like, okay, sure, you can bring a unit if you're gonna have fun with that, you like it because you have fun with it. But like, why still?
Mm-hmm.
E tier, you're like, are you mentally stupid? Are you mentally retarded?
You okay there, buddy? That's the okay. Are you there?
Like, how close are you to hanging yourself?
Okay, in game. He doesn't mean that. No.
Or do I?
No. F tier is just what the fuck.
F tier is how are you on this earth?
I would physically strangle someone if I found them using Vanguard Archers.
Every time, like, even at the enemy. When you see the enemy using one of these units, you get angry at the enemy for using that unit because they're that stupid.
Yep.
You get angry because you want to have some sort of challenge.
Or you feel bad for the enemy team.
Yeah, you feel bad for the enemy because they have to deal with this person that brought Ready REI, or Ronin, or God forbid Vanguard archers.
Yes. Alright, I think that's about it, guys. I think you don't have anything else to add?
No, oh shit, wait, huh? What the fuck? I had it zoomed out for a second where they could, like, sort of read it. There we go. Now it's all there.
Yeah.
Our tier list.
I think that's about it. You all good?
Yeah, I have no complaints. This looks pretty darn good.
Alright, guys, that is our tier list for Conqueror's Blade.
I hope y'all enjoy. Oh shit, what did I just do?
Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
See you all.